Hey everybody, it's Roxy Ayers. I'm always excited about March because it's the MS Awareness Month, and it's an opportunity for people to pay attention to what life is like to be an MS, or even just to really pay attention to how difficult it might look. And not to mention, we get to see all that tacky orange everywhere, which I've kind of learned to love. It's kind of my color. But that's not why I'm bugging you today. We're talking about empathy. And it's kind of hard because people don't know what we're going through. And really, it's kind of our responsibility to kind of communicate that we're having issues or what they're kind of like, because really there's a whole realm of support from people that you can get, because maybe you have issues with your eyes because of your MS, but you'll meet somebody who has issues with their eyes because of their diabetes, but it'll be different but same. And they'll do things to be helpful or kind to let you know just how well they understand what you're going through. But anyways, I want to share a story of empathy. And my family were kind of tough, a little rough around the edges. We don't like talking about the crying part and all the feelings, and my family calls it hanging lip. Every time you're upset, and they're like, why are you gonna hang lip? So anyways, I had a moment, and my sister Marissa, we're all kind of like that. We're noble, but she's a little tough. But I need that. Sometimes I need a more deprecating support than a huggy, thumbs up kind of thing. But anyways, we had this moment where she's not really an empathetic person by nature, I don't think, but we had a moment where we got to kind of experience each other's understanding of what this MS thing is. And she has MS as well, but hers is a different brand. She doesn't have the kind that's kind of crazy like mine, that affects my eyes and my balance and any kind of tactile sensations in your hands. My sister has more balance issue, doesn't have any balance issues, but she has numbness in her hands. But she can still run, she can still see, she can still do so many things. So you can come to understand why it might be a little more difficult to be understanding or empathetic in those moments. But so we were at a family member's funeral. And a funeral, it went okay. It's what it was. And then we had to go to the burial site, which was a little trek all the way to where it took some time to get there. And I didn't get a ride because, it wasn't that far. It seemed like it wasn't that bad. And it was kind of warm out. So I had my walker and I was trekking along, getting to the burial site along with everybody else, people who just walked normally. Nobody had chairs and nobody had walkers, and it was just me dragging my legs trying to make it happen. So we get close to the burial site, and I realized I was going to have to prop myself up a little bit and hop up on the curb like a gangster. And it was weird because you have to kind of build the momentum, but I was already exhausted from the heat. It was hot. It was also very exhausting because it was a funeral and everybody was crying. But I had to girl up. I had to make it happen. So I was like, okay, you're going to do this, Roxanne. And I propped it up, and I had to just muster up all the energy I could to put one leg up, another one leg up, and the whole way I was kind of like, dragging butt, but making it happen. And as I was propping myself up on the step to climb up it like a crazy person, my sister says to me, but this was supposed to be in her head, I'm certain. And she told me later, she goes, I didn't mean to say that out loud. But I go to prop myself up, and she said, that sucks. So I looked at her and I was like, yeah, it really does, you big old jerk. But what that was, in her mind and the way her body and her brain works, she was looking at what I was going through and going, oh my gosh, I can't imagine what it would be like, but I can come to understand how awful it would be. And she didn't use the words that I would like to have heard, but she says, that sucks. And I'm like, you gotta kind of work around all those rough edges and stuff. But that's how she offers these moments. Like maybe she says something that sounds a little critical, but really it's more of an opportunity for her to to be a tough person for you. She'll be the backbone when you're crying. She'll be the tough guy when it's upsetting, but that's how she supports me. That's the way she's empathetic for me. And I have a bunch of people in my life that have supported me immensely. And my sister is one. She's a little tougher. But I've got, my mother-in-law who's so considerate and so kind and so mindful of my needs. She watches me. I climb up and down trying to keep my body moving. I sit on the floor. I'll climb up on the couch, do whatever I can do to be a normal person. And without even thinking, she just helps. In the morning, she'll grab me some coffee, and she does it for two reasons. One reason is because carrying a hot beverage while you don't walk well and you have a walker and your balance is crazy, we're just trying to prevent an issue with burning myself and an issue with making a stain on the carpet. So it's helpful, but really, her making those moves before I even have to ask her, and being kind when she does it, and lets me know where she's setting things, because sometimes my eyes are a little crazy and I don't see it. We are all blessed with people who can offer us some kind of support. It's not all the same. You have the brand like my sister, and you have the brand like my mother-in-law, and it's bananas. But also, as an MSer, you yourself, even though we're caught up in our business and it's so awful and we hate it, there are a lot of opportunities to be empathetic to them, the people that are our support systems. Like our care providers, like our family members that take that little extra step. And maybe they're not feeling good, but they make it work anyway. And they're saying they've got back pain and they're having a hard time. We got to get out of our heads and look at their issue and be able to support them and be empathetic to their issues, even their problems with dealing with your problems. You know what I mean? Watching somebody you love be sick is harmful and hurtful to your heart. But if you can smile and you can say, I am so glad I have you to help me. I am so happy that you're a part of my life. And I'm saying this right now, very emotional, because my mother-in-law is sitting behind the the camera here. And I'm saying it, but I'm saying it to her too, because I appreciate these moments. And the empathy and the love that goes into it. It's not always there for some people, but I am blessed beyond measure. So anyways, my point is this. Thank the people that spend time caring about your ins and outs, your ups and downs, and take time to focus on yourself and be appreciative and loving on what you can do versus what you can't do. Just do what we can to make it right and share the love. And don't forget the people who spend time making sure you don't bust your butt on the floor, because that's a form of empathy too. And these are people who aren't getting paid. And even if they are, you need to be loving with them too, because, it can be a difficult animal to deal with, multiple sclerosis. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got today. But I urge you to pay attention to the people that are your support systems, or pay attention to the ones that spend a little time talking to you when maybe somebody might not. But anyways, I love you guys. Share the love and let everybody know you're kicking butt, even though you're a capper.